Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today to learn a bit about the online Master's in Higher Education program here at Ohio University's Patton College of Education. In today's session, we will provide information about our program, what you'll learn when you enroll, the faculty you'll engage with, and how you'll go about applying. So my name is Nick Stroup, and I am Assistant Professor of Higher Education and Student Affairs and the Program Coordinator for the Master's and PhD programs in higher education. I'm joined today by two-time Ohio University alumna Tasha Attaway, the Digital Graduate Recruitment Manager. Sorry, tongue-tied today. We are joining you here from beautiful Athens, Ohio, on the Hocking River, which you can see in the photo here. This is an old and long-standing community. The Adena people were the first people to settle into small villages in the area along the Hocking River about 2,400 years ago, where they produced pottery, ornaments, and jewelry that can still be found today. Many of the region's large burial mounds were constructed by the Adena people, and other groups that resided in what is now Athens County include the Fort Ancient people, the Hopewell, Osage, and Shawnee tribes. The city of Athens was founded in the late 1700s, and the university was established here in 1804, which is a number you'll see quite a lot when you come to campus, like on the banner here. It's the oldest public university founded in the Northwest Territories, and Ohio University is also considered one of the best college towns in the nation, and definitely the best in Ohio. You can see this in the buildings around Athens with the university, but in the broader community writ large. And I bet you're probably saying, well, that's nice, but this is an online program that I'm looking at. Why am I caring about this lovely campus in Athens, Ohio? And I wanted to just say that across Athens and into the digital community, we have a supportive group of faculty, staff, students, campus partners, and community members. And what we mean by community really intentionally extends far beyond Athens, but we're proud of where we're from, and we're proud that we're able to bring you in from wherever you are to this place. This photo on the cherry blossoms on the Hocking exemplifies this. These were a gift from our international partners in Japan several decades ago in honor of the university's 175th university. And so even if you're not here for studies today, you may find yourself visiting in the future, and you would be welcomed with open arms. No matter where you're joining us from, this is a community with very beautiful and deep roots. So to dive into the online program a little bit, one thing you'll know is that this is a program that is taught by scholars who know what student support means. You will meet our faculty a little bit more in a moment, but many of us do work all about student engagement, student learning, sense of belonging, and how all of those things come together to foster student success. And so you should know that we've designed this curriculum with your current and future education in mind. We want you to become administrators who are thoughtful, intentional, and diligent about approaching work in higher education for the sake of this generation and future generations. We acknowledge that you're probably here to advance in your current role, but we want to help prepare you not just for this next job, but for your final job, the big one, the one that requires a comprehensive knowledge base. And as a result, the 30 credit hours in this program will be from areas that address questions of leadership, organization, finance, campus environments, and evaluation. We know that the format of the program really matters in that curriculum. And so this program is entirely online and asynchronous. However, we have many optional opportunities for you to gather with each other and with us synchronously, such as in classes where we organize guest speakers who can help you advance your career in different areas. But whenever we do these things, we also make sure to have recordings available for you afterwards to be able to participate actively, whichever way you choose. You should know here too from this top level view that our admissions are rolling for the program, so you can prepare your application for a review whenever you like. And if you have questions about that, keep watching the video and you'll meet some people to help with that, and also to be able to get contact information from us so that you can have any question answered along the way. From the first moment of enrollment and beyond, you'll continue to receive support from the Ohio University community and the extensive resources that we have here, including career development support. To just speak a little bit about our online program, the Master's in Higher Education program is really designed for individuals who wish to advance their knowledge and skills while working within higher education settings. We know that you probably have dipped your toe into the water of higher ed and are trying to figure out now how do you improve your skills in this area. It's also a really great fit for those who want to transition into a career in higher education and student affairs administration, particularly if you're coming from another area in a helping profession, a business profession, one of these professions that has aligned and transferable skills. And what you need is some of the content knowledge to be able to say, but how does this apply to post-secondary settings? So we provide students with a broad knowledge of the history of higher ed, purposes and contexts of post-secondary education, leadership and organizational dynamics within these particularly strange kinds of institutions that people don't realize they've been navigating until they've actually graduated from them. Things about the learning environment, both in the classroom and outside the classroom, and concepts for assessing the efficacy of learning among students and the workplace environment. We're recognized nationally for this work that we do. We have the #2 online master's programs in Ohio, the #1 program for veterans, and we are in the national top 60 for online master's in education programs nationwide, based on recent U.S. News rankings. So I want to introduce you to some of the people who you'll see in this program along the way. We have 4 members of our faculty who we would consider core faculty, and we approach the teaching of higher education from different ways. Many of us have spent years and years in the field, both as practitioners and as researchers and scholars, and between us, we've taught hundreds and hundreds of courses. The first person I'll introduce you to is Dr. Laura Harrison. She is a professor of higher education and student affairs here, and her focus area is on leadership and change. That's the course you'll see her in. She teaches and writes on the topics of teaching, pedagogy, social justice, and leadership in student affairs and higher education. And she's one to just kind of move past questions of lip service and get things done. Her goal as an educator is really to teach knowledge and skills necessary to help students advocate in higher education systems, including the students who are in our master's program who have a lot of efficacy on their campuses, particularly while they're students and when they're graduating. The second person here I'll mention is Dr. Pete Mather. His major research interests include service learning, student and faculty outcomes, the application of positive psychology in higher education, and general student affairs practice. He's been in the higher education field for over 40 years, and his approach is one that is still filled with wonder. He's excited about the new perspectives that students bring to the classroom, and you'll experience that in the classes with him about the history of higher education and also student development.
May I say one thing about Dr. Mather?
Yes, absolutely.
He is the person who taught me the term appreciative education.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. Appreciative education is one of the things that several of our faculty members are known for in the field and have published significantly on to as scholars, and then also done a lot of applied consulting work around the country and world for. So it's really something that is core to what we do here. I'll skip myself for a moment and then move to Dr. Li-Jing Yang. Dr. Yang's research focuses on higher education policy, the economics of education, education finance, and comparative and international higher education. And one of the things that she wanted to really express is that, quote, as an Asian woman faculty member who came from a foreign country, I know I can thrive in a campus culture that ensures diversity, inclusion, and equity. This culture is what I'm committed to nurturing and maintaining among all the students in my classes. And the overarching theme of my higher education research is education equity, which is primarily examined from the financial and international perspectives. Her mentorship for me as a newer faculty member has been valuable along the way. And I would say that students who take our class are privy to understanding just how important it is to maintain so many different digital and remote connections because of the ways that she's lived transcontinental lives, being actively involved in the field of higher education as a researcher and teacher. Uh, Finally, my research centers on equity and inclusion in graduate and professional education, international education in the Western Balkans, and contemporary education theory. I teach those classes in legal issues, organization and governance, diversity, and public policy. And as an out scholar who's part of the LGBTQI community in the United States, I recognize that anyone who lives with the privilege to be in a society free from persecution must contribute to international human rights dialogue. And so this is something I bring into some of my classes. One of the nice things too is that Dr. Harrison, who's been mentioned here, is going to be the department chair of our overall Department of Counseling and Higher Education for the next few years. So you'll get some direct experience learning with her on questions of academic management in the coming few cycles. So I also want to point out two other faculty members who have offices here in our suite in Patton Hall in Athens, but are not necessarily in person with us all the time because they're doing other wonderful things. The first is Dr. Dave Wynn, who is the current dean of the University College here at Ohio University. So he's teaching occasional courses with us, and hopefully he'll appear in your cycle of 5 semesters while you're in the program. But he's somebody who is focused also on graduate education and equity in education. And then Dr. Mike Williford is the former director of institutional research. So he is aware of lots of large-scale studies of institutional effectiveness, and he's somebody who has spoken quite a lot about the holistic approaches to educational training in programs like ours. He's one of the longstanding faculty members for our program and is currently on a part-time teaching load as his time here at Ohio is celebrated. So I then want to point to two people who are your lifelines in this program. And one of them is here, Tasha Attaway. And I'll let you introduce yourself a little bit, Tasha, and explain a little bit about the Student Success Team.
Oh, absolutely. I'm happy to. Well, my name is Tasha Attaway, and my title is Digital Graduate Recruitment and what that means is that I am the first person, I'll be the first lifeline that you interact with as an applicant to the program. I help new students through the application process. If you encounter any issues with the form or have any questions about the process, I would be the person who would be able to help you out. And once we get you admitted into the program, then my colleague, Lisa Dale, is an incredibly knowledgeable source about registration information, all about the university structure, anything that you would need to know to be able to get into your classes and just overcome any issues and any challenges that you would have in that arena. Lisa is your first point of contact, and you will hear from both of us via email regularly, but we're also accessible to you. We do our best to make ourselves available, and we are here to help.
Thank you so much. So I want to also point out, we've got this Patton College Called to Lead, which is representative too of the fact that we are part of a larger college community here. There are many faculty and staff across the college who are invested in your success, even if you don't see them all the time. One of the things that's really incredible and robust as somebody who's relatively new to this community that I have come to really value is just how much is happening behind the scenes on behalf of students. This is a really student-centered place, and not every place is. And I want to just encourage you to take the time to look at just how wonderfully well-developed our staff and student resources are to be able to make sure that you have a wonderful experience here in the Patton College. If you're still with us, what it means is that you are interested in learning a little bit more about the nitty-gritty of the program. So I'm going to dive into some of our program learning objectives and the course curriculum now. So the program itself is 30 credits, as I mentioned earlier, spread over 10 courses. And collectively with those courses, we want you to be able to accomplish a few things. We want you to really comprehend relevant historical, organizational, governance, financial, diversity, policy, campus environment, and many other contemporary issues concerning higher education. Higher education is broad. It's an organizational form that has been around longer than nation states. And because of this, there's a lot to know. And our goal is to really give you the best possible knowledge of this broad landscape that you can then apply as you become a leader in the field. We want you to be able to take this knowledge, whether it's theoretical, practical, or methodological, to be able to critically analyze and evaluate relative higher education policy and conceptual literature. We want you to be able to speak broadly about, what is going on with financial aid in this country? What is going on with the way that universities are dealing with questions around free speech? What are the things that students need to know when they are making the decision to attend a university or a college or a community college in their hometown or on the other side of the world? These are the things that are fundamental questions that cover all of our courses, and you will be able to come to some really nuanced understanding of these beyond just what you might see in the popular press in the way that we approach these questions very intentionally in the design of your curriculum. Finally, we want you to be able to integrate theory and practice throughout your course assignments. So you will be doing many of the big picture thinking tasks in this course, or in the course of these 10 classes, with others who are engaged in thinking about higher education, but in different functional areas than you. They're going to be different institutional types than you. And we want you to be able to think through what the things that you are learning mean in different contexts so that you can stretch yourself and develop more nuanced ways of thinking about the future of higher ed. The 10 classes are listed here, and I note that there's a few that are also added in this kind of salmon color because we're, giving them a revamp for you. So you'll see some names and other names, but the courses deal with campus environments. So what's happening around college campuses and how you craft those as an administrator. Assessment and evaluation, figuring out how things are effective or taking the temperature for campus climate, a broad-based higher education student affairs in the United States, so that you have an understanding of student issues at different institutional types, finance and budgeting, diversity in American higher education, organization and governance of higher education, which gives you some of that theoretical content about how to lead large groups. And then leadership and change management, which has a little bit more to do with the self-work that you're going to do as a leader in these spaces. You also have courses in legal issues and policy perspectives, which bring us beyond the institutional bubble to more of the societal lens and help you be advocates for change in broader communities on behalf of higher education. And then college student development, which really deals with the programmatic aspects of higher education as it is there to nurture the learning, development, and growth of students. This is a sample carousel curriculum, so you might see this order listed as fall, spring, summer, fall, spring. And you'll see that it's 30 hours in 5 semesters. We do these 10 classes in this order for several reasons. One, we want to make sure there's always 2 classes for you to take. So you have 6 credits per semester. So it's a pretty consistent move through the program. So you can complete this in 5 semesters. The other thing that we want to note is that you'll see there aren't electives here. This is because we want to make sure that you're able to be with a cohort of students who are also moving through this online program together. And we're trying to make sure that you're getting the right kind of content spaced out appropriately. We pair things intentionally with each other through each semester as well. And so when you enter, and no matter which semester you enter, whether it's fall, spring, or summer, you'll be able to hop into this carousel, meet the other people, and be part of that for your 2 years in the program, and then finish the program in a timely manner. At this point, too, you might have questions about the specifics of these courses, and those are the kinds of things that you can reach out to me as the program coordinator about as you're trying to make some decisions about what am I going to learn here? How does this apply in different ways to my field of study? And so as we're kind of winding down with the curriculum pieces, I want to just tell you a few things that allow us to toot our own horn here. First is that we are an R1 university, which means we're at the highest group of universities in this country. The cutoff for this is a tough one to meet, and we meet it. The state of Ohio doesn't have many of these. The country as a whole doesn't have many of these. And we are at that bar, which means that we have enough of a robust infrastructure that you can probably get any kind of educational experience that you want here at Ohio University. And we're happy to work with you on that. Athens as a whole, I've spoken about. It's a #1 best college town in Ohio. Many people who are going to be part of this program are residents of the state of Ohio, and I encourage you to come take a look and spend some time here. If you ever want to come meet us, please do. If after this conversation you're also saying, well, this is great, but I don't know if the online program is for me, know that Ohio University as a whole has plenty of programs, and we also have 2 other programs here in the HESA, or Higher Education and Student Affairs suite of programs, including our College Student Personnel program, which has a little bit less of the organizational management, more of the people skills ones, but that is an entirely in-person program for you. The things you should also know is that we've been awarded for the last 6 years the Higher Education Excellence and Diversity Award because we care quite deeply about diversity. And you can go online and see our faculty diversity statements and other commitments that we have related to fostering diversity among our student body. I've spoken about some of the other rankings, but I want to just end with the fact that we're a Purple Star campus. We're among the first in the nation to be designated this way for supporting military personnel and their families. And so we want to make sure that that is clear, and the student population that we want to welcome is one that is inclusive of all the different kinds of experiences that people have had here. And I'll just end these rankings with we're #1 for best value in Ohio. We're an online leader in education. We have remained this way, and we continue to expect this to be the case. We've been committed to building a program intentionally from a place of community and support, and making sure that it also is one that is a good choice fiscally for people who are moving into the higher education field. To that end, I'll talk a little bit about the program costs, and I think Tasha will jump in as well as needed. But the fees that are listed here are for the 2023-2024 school year. We don't have them yet for the 24-25 year. The board is still working on that, but we can tell you that the institutional fee plus the smaller fees that get added on mean that each credit hour is worth $536 for Ohio residents and $555 for non-residents, which below you can see what that looks like for the 6 credits per semester that you can be expected to take. This includes tuition fees, but does not include textbooks, which might be an additional cost, but not much, because we often are a program that values using open source materials. And we have a pretty robust library structure that helps you get things that way. We will note that federal financial aid is available for eligible applicants, and the Ohio Bursar's Office offers a payment plan, so you can spread out your payment across 3 smaller payments each semester. The university also accommodates payments from external resources such as employer education benefits or government funding. And so you can work with relevant offices about that. And our Office of Student Financial Aid recommends using FastWeb to find additional funding. Tasha, is there anything else you'd like to add about these things?
There is one thing that I can't believe I did not think to add earlier, and that is the fact that this program, students in this program are eligible for what's called our Ohio Online Incentive Scholarship. And that scholarship is valued at 15% of the cost of tuition and fees. So that being said, who is eligible for this scholarship? Any military, any veterans or active military students are eligible. If you are an Ohio alumnus, you are eligible for this scholarship, and as well, people who are transitioning careers and are currently working for any of a number of university corporate partners. All of these people are eligible for that Ohio Online Incentive Scholarship. So that's one more thing that is available, and it's one more thing that points to the military-friendly nature of our institution.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to ask you to speak a little bit more about the application requirements since you're already rolling on.
Well, I'm on a roll. As I said earlier, I'm basically your contact person during this application process. So let's talk about what those requirements are. So in any undergraduate major is able to apply for this program. So whatever your major was for your bachelor's, you can enter this program. So you would need to complete the graduate degree seeking application and submit that non-refundable fee of $50 with that. Again, the GRE, the Graduate Record Examination, is not required, so there's no stress about taking that test, which is a bear. I took it myself. So you're free from that. Yay. But we also need official transcripts from your bachelor's degree and from any institution where you attempted graduate coursework. Whether or not you achieved a degree from that graduate level coursework, we still need to receive that official transcript. Now, here's the thing about an official transcript. It must be received directly to our graduate college from the institution that you attended previously. So if you attended another institution, you will need to contact that school's office of the registrar, because that official transcript must come directly to the graduate college, and it can be sent electronically via email to graduate@ohio.edu. So that's one thing to keep in mind, and you will have so many reminders about this requirement. But the big thing is that the transcript is required. However, if you are an Ohio alumnus, the college, graduate college, will request those transcripts from the registrar's office here on your behalf. So you don't have to take any action. Just make sure that when you're completing your application that you indicate that your degree is from Ohio University, and they will make that request. So that's one more perk of being a Bobcat. So moving on with the requirements, the program requires an autobiographical sketch or a personal statement. That's 2 to 3 pages, double-spaced. So this document, it serves a couple of purposes. One, it provides a sample of your writing so that the faculty are able to evaluate your communication skills in writing. It also needs to tell us about you, who you are as an applicant, why you are interested in entering the field of higher ed, why you're interested in Ohio's program, and what brought you to apply to our program. Now, one more thing that I often recommend people to do is, if you feel that your GPA during your undergraduate career is a little lower than it should have been, take the time to address that, any kind of deficiencies that you feel would appear in your academic record. Take the time to address that in your autobiographical statement, because that will enable the faculty to take that into consideration. If you don't let them know what happened and how you plan to overcome that deficiency, they'll have no idea, and you could be declined for a program that you're perfectly qualified to enter. Okay, so moving on. There also is required 3 letters of recommendation, and at least one of these must be, well, I'm going to say should rather than must. It should be from a past faculty member, and one needs to come from a supervisor or someone who is very knowledgeable about your work ethic, your integrity, your ability to follow through on the commitments that you make in a professional setting. And the last is a current resume or curriculum vitae. The biggest thing is that all of this application packet that's how you're selling yourself to the faculty and letting them know why you're interested in the program, why you're qualified to complete it, how you feel that you can be successful, because we don't want to admit students who have no chance of being successful. We care about your success, and we want you to be successful when you enter this program. Can I say success a few more times?
Thank you. That's fantastic. And I want to just echo everything that was said and shared there. I think all of the tips related to things to include, people to recommend or to offer recommendations. If you pause this video, go back, listen to that again. It was excellent. So please, it makes you a stronger applicant to follow those guidelines.
Oh, and one more thing that I would love to share about is the fact that Ohio University is committed to your success both as a student and afterward. So the university offers you lifelong career support through our career network. So once you're a Bobcat, you are a Bobcat for life. You can go. I promise I have seen pictures of people in Antarctica just flying Bobcat flags. People are proud of being Bobcats, and it builds a network that once you become a part of that network, you've got people in your corner who want you to succeed and who want to help you along the way. So in addition to becoming a member of our Patent Proud family, hashtag Patent Proud, look for us on social media, you have joined more than 235,000 Bobcat alumni around the world. You can find Bobcats everywhere. And as I mentioned earlier, Ohio has an office, the Career Network, that provides support, career support, all along your path. So you would be the university regularly holds career fairs, and we also have there is if you don't know what Handshake is, you will. It is basically a web-based platform that is a communication tool and a network, and a lot of job interactions happen through Handshake. So we are here to help you both as a student and afterward. And I just have to say one more thing. I applaud your interest in the field of higher ed because it has faced a lot of challenges, but research continues to prove that higher ed is worth it, that it has value dollar for dollar. I have been in higher ed my entire career, which I know I don't look it, but it's been over 25 years. And the reason that when anyone asks me why I'm in higher ed, the reason that I tell them is because I can always believe in the product. You can always believe in the product that you are producing when you are working in higher education. So don't be dissuaded by anything you see in the media. If you have this in your heart, go for it.
Thank you. Yes. I am so excited to hopefully meet everyone. And if you've stuck with us for this last half hour, hopefully you'll decide to find out a little bit more about the program, think about applying. And if you are planning to do that, you can visit our website. You can also email questions to elearning@ohio.edu if you have questions about the process of applying, or to HISA@ohio.edu, which would reach our program office. Thank you for taking the time. I'm grateful for each and every one of you, and I hope that there will be some new members of the Bobcat family very soon. So have a wonderful day.